PHARRCAST episode 3, Yuri and Melanie.
Awesome. PHARRCAST episode 3, the City of Pharr's very own video podcast, kicking off this morning with our very own Melanie Cano, which represents a very important and critical department here with the City of Pharr, O.S.E, Office of Strategic Excellence. So Melanie, welcome to your space, our space, everyone's space here in the City of Pharr. How are you?
I'm doing great. Very happy to be here. So thank you for having me.
How long have you been with the City of Pharr, Melanie?
Oh, I've been with the City of Pharr for about 10 and a half years now.
So an entire decade.
Yes.
You're a decade baby.
I sure am.
Decade baby in the house. So, what's that journey been like? I'm sure it's been challenging, good moments, tough moments. Just take us through a memory lane.
Right. So I started 10 years ago, and I started with the Department of Development Services. So the position I was in was as a planner. And my time there was very exciting because I got to work with a lot of different departments and the community. So it exposed me to a lot of city services that we have, and pretty much the development process on its own, what it is, what the community has to do, to run a business, to develop property, our code enforcement, things of that nature.
Did you enjoy working in that department? I guess, is that your strength or is that your arena?
So I absolutely loved working with development services. I think for me, what I was most passionate about was working with our community, working with the public. Before then, I came from the retail banking world. So like I said, residents, customers, they're always the priority.
Right. So how do you transition from that department into and by the way, let's elaborate on what Office of Strategic Excellence is for our viewers.
Right. So for those that don't know, the Office of Strategic Excellence, it was established back in 2021, right? So the purpose of our department was to make sure that we were focused on our journey to excellence. And when I say journey to excellence, I mean continuous improvement, right? Because us as a city and our organization, we take pride in our workforce. We take pride on providing these services for our public. So for us, we want to make sure that we're enhancing overall services, right? So part of that within the Office of Strategic Excellence, we focus on performance, we focus on our strategy management and continuous improvement efforts.
How's that been like so far? I mean, it's a fairly new department, right? 3 years?
Yes. 3 years. It's been great so far. Obviously, like any organization, any department, we're faced with challenges. But with those challenges come learnings, right? There's always opportunities to get better. And that's something that my department is pretty much focused on. So I think for us, how we overcome those challenges, we want to make sure that we're communicating effectively with everyone throughout the organization.
Now, critical department for the City of Pharr with 22 plus departments, right? From your public safety to your internal to administration. So it's only 3 people running this department. How do you guys do it? I mean, 3 people assisting, collecting data, structuring. It's a lot that goes into what you guys do on a daily basis. So how do you balance that out with 3 employees?
So I will tell you this, even though we're a department of 3, our efforts are not individual efforts and they're not just department efforts on our own within O.S.E. We collaborate a lot with all 22 departments. A lot of the information that we need, we work with them, whether it's a daily basis, weekly basis, or a monthly basis. So it's not something that we do alone.
Melanie, so we've talked about this time after time, how fortunate we are here in the City of Pharr having your Office of Strategic Excellence. This is not a department that every city municipality has, but it's also becoming a very powerful trend. Cities are identifying quickly that a department like this is critical to their organization. Do you feel that perhaps slowly we'll see that happening in other cities? And if so, why?
I think so. I think we'll see it throughout the region. And the reason why I say that is because how do we measure our success, right? Data is really important for us. We want to make sure that what we're saying, for us, for instance, excellence every day. How do we know that?
Yeah. So we're backing it up with solid facts, right?
Right. And it's important because when you're on this path to reach excellence, right? And for us, it is, right? We want to get Baldrige. Data is really important. And you want to make sure not only you have your own data, but comparative data. So who do we compare ourselves to? So yeah, I think definitely, I think other cities should also take the same approach and open up these offices of performance or innovation.
Right. The title may vary, but the objective, the goal is still the same. So you mentioned surveys earlier. Mm-hmm. Our surveys are happening right now. I believe they run from December through March. This is your biannual citizen survey. Perfect time to talk to our residents about this survey. Just elaborate on that.
Yeah. So this survey, we do it every other year. And this one in particular is to make sure we ask our residents if they're satisfied with our city services. When I say city services, it's our parks and our trails, our facilities, right? Our public works services. So our streets, our traffic lights. Then we have our.
It's a short survey. I'm a Pharr resident, so I took it and, straight to the point. Are you a South, Central, or North? South, Central, or North Pharr resident? Mm-hmm. Some of the things you really want to see. So you break it down into categories, entertainment, quality of life, projects. Yes. I really encourage our residents, it's going to take you 2 minutes, but this data is valuable for Mrs. Melanie Cano. So once you collect all of this information, let's say, how many residents have taken this survey, by the way, so far?
So far, as of yesterday, we have a little over 500.
500? Come on, guys. Yes. I mean, City of Pharr, we have 80,000 residents, yes. Right? That's our population.
Yes.
So 500 surveys, it might sound like a lot, but we're really falling behind. So if you're out there, please take the survey.
Please take the survey.
Look at this QR code we're about to put on the screen. Please scan the QR code. Just go straight into the link and fill this out. So, Melanie, once all of that data is collected, your 1,000 surveys, what happens next?
Yeah. So what happens next once the survey's done, we want to analyze that data. We want to see where we recognize those opportunity areas and talk to our city manager, talk to our directors, and talk to our commission. So that way we can have these focus areas and find ways to improve.
Can you give me an example of data that was collected through these citizen surveys on a specific need, perhaps, that our citizens, were requesting? And because of this survey, it is now a reality.
So 4 years ago, we did have a question on the citizen survey that asked how the community gets their updates, their city news, right? And we had a variety of options, but we noticed that there wasn't one that expanded on the actual services, which was what the intent of the survey was. So that's where 311 came into effect.
And so what is a 311?
So 311 is a reporting tool where the citizens can report different things, whether it's code violation, whether it's a traffic signal that's down, or if they want to give a shout out to a specific department, it's on there as well.
311 app, it's a free app. You can find it in your Apple Store, Google Play, and just download it for free. So once this data is uploaded, right? Let's say there's a suggestion or there's a complaint on, illegal dumping, right? Mm-hmm. I gather those pictures, I upload them, send them through the 311 app. How is it structured that, it's being measured and it's going into the right department?
So that it was already built by our IT department and different departments. So it already has the levels and the departments it gets assigned to.
So that's great. Okay, so that's a perfect example on how a suggestion through the surveys, became a reality. And it's been very successful. I think the app, everyone's shifting into technology. Everyone's just saving time. Mm-hmm. Why come to City Hall when you can just upload your concern, your suggestion through an app? Anything else you want to share with the residents? I know the biannual survey is critical. It's very important. We need more than 500, so please fill it out. Anything else that you think is important to mention?
I think it's important to mention that I know that these surveys, you hear about them throughout the year, but they're really important to us as an organization. I know I keep on emphasizing, continuous improvement, our path to excellence, but really we want to hear from the public and we want honest feedback because that's the only way we as an organization, we're going to continue to get better.
Absolutely. We're so happy you joined us today, Melanie. I know today was just, an introduction to who Melanie Cano is, how long you've been with us, your transition, from a department that was very hands-on. You're still very hands-on, but just it's completely different, right? Would you say it's completely different?
It's
what
completely
you're doing?
different, but it prepared me for where I'm at today because I got to work with a lot of different departments and I was exposed to a lot of different services that we have to offer. So
awesome. Yeah. Well, congratulations to you and your team. You guys are awesome. Shout out to your team. But one specific goal for you that you can share with our community, what would that be?
So one goal that we have for this year is we want to get our community dashboard going. So that way the community has the opportunity to take a look at our performance. And that's something that's currently in progress. Right. And we should have it out hopefully within the next couple of months.
And this dashboard becomes public.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Awesome. Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much, Melanie Cano. We'll see you soon. And hopefully next time you can bring the rest of your staff so we can talk to all of them and our residents get to meet them. Thank you so much. We'll have more guests in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned here with our PHARRCAST.
Thank you.